It's the Slam Dunk.
Okay, so David Farrer has surveyed the media, gone deep into these organisations in a bid to understand who are these journalists and what is their thinking. Where is their politics at? Are they left or right-leaning? So here goes. He reveals that 81% of New Zealand journalists identify with being left-leaning. See, there's the number there. That's an avalanche of left-wing journos running the narrative. Just 15% say they're right-wing. 5-1 left-wing journos outnumber those who say they lean right. Now, David compares that to the rest of the country, where normal people say they're about 28% left wing and 43% say they lean right. So journalists are suddenly out of step, out of kilter with the prevailing attitude and thinking in our wider society. They're not representative. Of those who identify as left, 20% they're hard left. 20% say they're hard left. Just 1% they say they are hard right. Almost 60% of New Zealanders thought the $55 million public interest media fund meant that the media were bought off by the government. Which I will stand here and argue that I'm not so sure about that, but that's the perception, so they believe they're right. Stuff was seen as the most left-wing or left-leaning, followed by Spin-Off, the Spin-Off, One News and News Hub. The Herald was seen as centrist, News Talk was said to be right-wing, and the Platform, the most right-wing of them all. Trust in media has collapsed. It's now down at around 26-27%, which is shockingly low, and it's hard to get back. And we're not trusted. And we now sit below politicians at the very bottom of the scale. Used car dealers, politicians, media. It's appalling. It's really hard to get back. Diversity is all very well, but media have failed to clearly have a diversity of political views in these newsrooms. Right-leaning journos in my time have been outnumbered, silenced, even ridiculed in newsrooms, so many stay silent, and no one right-leaning ever reveals their politics. Yet those on the left so often do and are proud of the fact, not realising how stupid and biased they look in the process. Some journalists proudly wear it as a badge of honour and are only too willing to call out those who stay silent or appear to be to the right of them, like there's some kind of evil that's penetrated the now collapsing kingdom. I've always tried to hold both sides to account, and former press secretary to Helen Clark, Mike Munro, once told me that I was an equal opportunity basher. So basically I whack both sides. And that may not be your view, but that's certainly what he says. I've known prime ministers, reported on them since 1995. I consider no politician a friend. But many I know, and quite well. I get on with some more than others. And I can honestly say the people I've struck up cordial and respectful working relationships with, in no particular order, I'll name them. Jerry Brownlee, Judith Collins, Simon Bridges, Paula Bennett. I probably missed people out here. John Key, Shane Jones, Helen Clark, Annette King, David Cunliffe. Sorry to be a man. David Shearer, Ron Mark, Rodney Hyde, Jim Anderton's office in the 90s. Willie Jackson, Huni Harawira, Taliana Tudia, John Carter, Leanne Dalzell, Georgina DeHoho, Don Brash, David Seymour, Toe Henare, Trevor Mallard at times even. Mallard. Lockwood Smith, Brian Donnelly, and even Winston Peters, although I trust none of them. But I got on with them and dealt with them a lot. Bill English, I'll probably put him there too, despite the fact that he rang up and called me up. There was also Grant Robertson, pre-getting into government. Tony Ryle, I suppose, as well. I'm sure I've definitely named Rod Donald, Russell Norman, James Shaw. Always got on well and did business with him. None of them I hang out with. There's no birthday or Christmas wishes. And after 20 years in Parliament, 30 years in the gig, I'm happy with that. Both sides would say I'm probably quite rightly an arsehole, and that's the way it probably should be. I might say the same thing back. But at some stage they were likeable. At some stage, I probably whacked into them as well. And it never stopped me having to nail them or question them. Now, I've been called left-wing, right-wing. It goes with the territory. But media have made one huge mistake, in my view. They've defiantly and arrogantly not read the room around trust and arrogantly thought they could just sort of sit this one out and see it off. But perception's reality, and now David Farrer has put some meat on the bones with this telling survey, which hopefully might make some newsroom bosses rethink their hiring process or processes. And that is, of course, if newsrooms start hiring again anyway. They need to make sure that they have a genuine cross-section of views in a newsroom. No one's neutral. Everyone's got some sympathies. But the test is how good are you at divorcing yourself from those in the preparation and execution of a story. I've seen top-level presenters openly express their left-wing voting tendencies and preferences. How they continue with any credibility is beyond me, and indeed many see them now as a joke. Same with solely Māori-focused journalists. They've been far too slow in calling out their own people for wrongdoing. Sometimes the colour of their skin is the reason why they protect them, or go soft on them, or leave them alone entirely. The Māori world is small. There are Māori elders in positions of authority. They hold much sway over young upcoming journos who are, I think, afraid to get offside with what might be their own tribe or family member, so they're a bit reluctant. I've seen journos in the parliamentary press gallery stay around far too long and get institutionalised. They became part of their political narrative and they don't even report stuff that most would regard as news. That's how close they've got to this whole thing. Truth is, the media has lost decades and decades of hard work and building its reputation in just a few short years. COVID coverage didn't help, but the collapse has been so dramatic and so damaging. And this survey backs up people's thoughts and feelings and perceptions, and that's why it's crucial. Media have not helped themselves. And we've got to be upfront, we're to blame. Some of us are intent on putting it right. Others may bury their heads in the sand saying, not my problem. It is our problem. That's why media today has broken and it's rebuilding, but not the same way it used to be, and it never will be. You will decide who you trust. Gone are the days when media can dictate terms and haul in the cash. Right now they don't dictate much and they're not hauling in the cash like they used to. Let this be a lesson that it takes years of hard slog to gain a reputation, mere seconds or a few short years to lose it. Don't be complacent in any industry. Let media be the lesson and the test. Don't hold contempt for your customers. Hear them out. Don't ignore them, and make sure you actually listen to them because, well, they actually know best. It's crucial to your survival. People now choose their suppliers via their device. With media, they'll swipe right. No thanks. Make sure you're not next. And remember, the power has shifted to the people. Largely, they get to choose what they want and when they want it. They have the delete switch or the off switch. It's never that far away. So just recall that and remember it.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.